Hello, buddy. This is Kyrox, and more Let's Play Harvest Moon Back to Nature. And we are gonna check the fridge, because I don't think I have the item I need. Wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if I did not. And I do not. That's okay, though. Today, Summer 4, is Harris's birthday. He likes wine and spa-boiled eggs. I was gonna give him wine, but I'm pretty sure the winery's closed on Wednesday. Or Sunday. Yeah, Wednesday. That's applicable to my situation. Don't know why I'm checking the weather. It doesn't matter anymore. While I cannot get wine, spa-boiled eggs are in fact a possibility. At least I don't think I can get wine. Feed the fish. Bone, little fishies. Bone. Bone away. I'm eat some honey. No. I'm a little excited because A, I'm getting this done slightly ahead of the game. It's now Tuesday morning instead of like Tuesday at 10 p.m. You know? I actually have some time to sit back, relax, and get this done. And B, I've got hero clicks today, so that's something I'll be able to talk about when I record this week in Kyrex. Because I'm a little sick of not being able to talk about shit like that, you know? Because I've had to miss so many tournaments, obviously. On a side note, I reacquired a game that I used to own that got stolen by my niece's girlfriend. Or as she called her wife, because I really have no trouble with gay marriage at all. I kind of can't have trouble with it given how many gay relatives I have. I have a lot of gay relatives. One of them joked that there are so many gay people in this family, it's a wonder that we actually managed to breed. I can think of like 4 or 5 just off the top of my head. Which may not seem like a lot, but that's a lot more than some families have. You know, but my only insistence is if you're gonna call someone your wife, marry them. Don't just decide, oh, you're my wife, you're my husband. Because when she was dating a guy, that was her husband, despite them, you know, never having any kind of ceremony. Oh, it's Saturday. Shit, he's gonna get some wine after all that. What is it, 8? No. Okay. And again, you don't even have to get married, like officially married, but there was no ceremony of any kind. Not even just a, hey, come over to our house and have dinner and we're gonna call ourselves married kind of thing. But yeah, her girlfriend stole this game and several others, and it pissed me off. Hold on a second. But yeah, it's like I said, if you, it was one of multiple games that was stolen. Like Fist of the North Star, Ken's Rage was stolen. Fall of Cybertron was stolen. This game was stolen, and probably 2 or 3 others that I just, for whatever reason, can't remember right now. And it pisses me off. You know, I mean, we took them into the house and they fucking stole from us for various reasons, you know. But anyway, this is a game I've replaced. If you want to know what it is, find out in tomorrow's or tonight's or whatever's This Week in Kyrix, because I'll talk about it in detail. Although the game itself will be recorded, because that's one of the main reasons I got it, because I've already beaten the game. I don't have anything to prove in that regard, you know. But I do want to record it. However, God, 300. I remember back in the day when I used to think that shit was expensive. Oh my God, Karen's such an expensive date. She loves wine. Fucking, I could literally buy 9 of those fucking things and gift wrap them for everybody in town 4 times over and not make a dent in my money. But yeah, this game will not be seen on my channel until about 2018. Because that's just how far along I am. Oh, that's right. They're closed on Sundays, aren't they? Well, then I'll just give it to him unwrapped and he'll enjoy it. Is he actually home? He is not. He's off on his fucking patrols. I think he's at the cottage today. So that's the problem, is there's stuff in the book like, oh, here's where they are at 3 o'clock. But it only applies to the bachelorettes. If I want to find Harris the cop, I need to track his ass down the hard way. Which is exactly what I'm going to do. But yeah, I have been meaning for weeks to get caught up to this. And I might do it today, actually. Click, click, click. Yaha! I'm on to you. Happy birthday. It's wonderful when the villagers give me booze. I know that's not what he meant, but that's what I'm running with. Fuck it. My wife likes her some flowers. I'm gonna bring her some. That's the beautiful thing about Ellie. Ellie is, not to make her sound like a slut, the easiest girl. If it's any season other than winter, you can find her favorite thing everywhere. And that's awesome. You know, there's something to be said about a girl who doesn't have expensive tastes, like Karen. And to be fair, the only reason wine's not that big a deal to me is because A, I'm in the 3rd year when I have all of the money. See? There it is. And B, even if I were in the 1st year, the fucking good watering can by like the end of spring. I'm pretty sure I started summer with the good watering can, which drastically increased my output. And I went on a pineapple frenzy, you know, so that I just filled this field with as many pineapples as I could physically afford. And those two things combined to set me very well off financially. I've actually been playing a lot of Stardew Valley again. I'm having some fun with it. It's kind of funny that I'm doing better overall than I was in my main game. That is not to say This Week in Kyrix, but my main recreational game. But the problem is I have like no iridium. I don't even have a single ingot of it, which kind of pisses me off. Because I need a better watering can, because the one I have blows for the amount of watering I have to do. But that's neither here nor there. That's not even this game. Okay, tomorrow is just a day. Ooh, I've actually stressed my shit. Gotta do a thing. But yeah, I've actually ran myself to a limit. Not the limit, but a limit. thing. The thing I'm about to do, is this a thing that people actually do in Japan? I ask in Japan because I don't know of a lot of hot springs in America that people just sit in. Whereas apparently Japan's full of the damn. That's not what I meant to do. But yeah, does Japan really spa boil eggs? I mean, I'm not passing judgment, it's just an interesting thing to do. I can't imagine getting into water on purpose that is hot enough to boil an egg. Because one would think that that would boil you as well. I've gotten boiling water on my skin before. It's not fun. It's certainly not relaxing. And it's not like the water comes to a fucking boil. You know? I don't know, it just... Then again, this is the same country that, at least according to anime, has people who will sit in an oil drum full of water with a fire built under it. You know? And then there's my niece, different niece by the way. I have 12 of them. I have a lot of nieces to choose from with my stories. But my niece used to, for the tub, and I would watch her do this with just this look of puzzlement on my face, like a dog who heard a silly noise. But I would watch her take a big-ass pot of water and boil it, and then carry it into the tub and dump it. And then do this over and over again, and then get in the tub. I mean, I didn't see her get in the tub, but I assume she did. But yeah, you get the idea. Ooh, the fairy and me. Shh, good show. But, yeah, she used to fucking boil water, and I asked her why. I was like, well, the tub doesn't get hot enough. I'm like, no. Yes, it does. It gets very hot. You shouldn't boil yourself, sweetie. You have so much to live for. Hear that, ladies? Don't boil yourself. You got a future. You know what's funny? Believe it or not, it's October now, and I just realized this morning when I was walking to the store that it was October. Because I looked across the street, and one of the houses, well, the house in front of my house, over its door had orange and purple lights. And I'm like, oh, they're decorated for Halloween. That's a thing this month, isn't it? Yes, Kyrix, yes it is. You've only seen daily on your Facebook feed all sorts of things about, oh, Halloween season, oh, it's Halloween season. And you're just now making the connection. Bravo. Your mother must be so proud. I actually saw my mom yesterday. See, I told her one of the problems with me going to see her, I would honestly see her more often, if not for the sheer pain in the ass that it is to get down there right now. Because right now, I have to allocate $250 to get a bus pass, which doesn't sound like much. If I had a real income, it wouldn't be. But I don't, so $250 is a sizable investment. So I don't go unless I'm already going in that general direction anyway, you know? Like if I have to visit a friend or drop something off, like yesterday, I had to go drop my 3DS off at a store to get it fixed. Because I didn't want to pay $75 fucking plus shipping to get it fixed online, so I went there and paid $56. Number might go up, but that's what my invoice said. You know, I haven't actually paid yet because they didn't ask me to. I'm guessing it's pay on delivery, but it needed fixed. It really did. I mean, I was willing to put it off until I saw just how bad it got. Because my bottom screen was faded. You know, you ever get something that gets old, faded colors? I can deal with faded colors. I used to have this German TV, because we lived in Germany. We're not some bizarre hipster import family. It's just, I actually lived with a child, so our TV was German, because it came home with us. And I had this TV, and I had this TV like my whole fucking life. I'm pretty sure I had this thing even when I moved to Crystal River, which was when I went into high school. I started high school there, so that should tell you how old this thing was. And it kept the colors kept fading, and eventually I had to get rid of it. It was sad. I grew up with this fucking thing. You know, it was a nice big TV too, but the colors would fade, and after a while, it just had to go. Although, actually, that's not the TV I'm thinking of. I mean, don't get me wrong, the German TV totally did that. But I just remembered that that TV didn't become mine until we moved to Crystal River. I actually had a myriad of other TVs, and I'm thinking of a completely other one for this particular story. But I think, actually, the German one went green, now that I think of it. Where everything just turned green. I mean, I happen to like green, but I'd like to see other colors, please. But anyway, this was... To date this, I was renting Final Fantasy III. That's 6 nowadays, but back then on the Super Nintendo it was 3. I had rented Final Fantasy III from Albertsons. Yeah, there used to be Albertsons in this fucking state. Our last one turned into a Safeway a couple months back. You know, which makes me sad I grew up with Albertsons. But anyway, I rented it from Albertsons, and I'm playing it, and it's in black and white. And for some reason, for some dumbass reason, I thought nothing of it. I guess I wasn't watching TV in my room. Which makes no sense, because I used to... It's only in recent years that I've stopped watching TV. So the idea that I wouldn't have watched TV kind of boggles my mind now, but... I'm watching the game, and I'm seeing everything in black and white, and I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe the game's just in black and white. No, it turned out that my TV was... dying. A lot. Do I have curry powder? I have curry powder. Now, what else do I need to make curry? Because Cliff's birthday's tomorrow. He likes curry. Cook a dish. Follow recite. Curry. Curry, 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 curry. Ah, I need some rice. That makes sense. Tell you one thing, I don't think I'd ever eat Indian food, because I've heard things about it being spicy, but I fucking love the smell of it. You know, it's very, very empowering to the senses to walk past an Indian restaurant. Now, I'm pretty sure that were I to actually taste those ingredients, my tongue would violently disagree with them, but that doesn't mean it doesn't smell nice. Hell, I can't stand the taste of coffee, but you boil a pot of coffee and I just love it. I fucking love the smell of coffee. Which actually is real nice, because my roommates are coffee drinkers, so sometimes I'll wake up in the morning when the coffee's still fresh and have a nice coffee smell through the house. Unfortunately, I tend to eat things that don't smell as good to them when they're being cooked, like macaroni and tuna and turkey bacon. So, while I get nice sensations from their cooking, it's not a mutual thing. What? But, yeah, oh god, I love me some turkey bacon. Kind of hoping to get some from Sam's Club again. There was like a 4-pound packet of turkey bacon, which wasn't 4 pounds, it was just 4 1-pound things literally taped together, but hey, it was cheaper than buying 4 of them. I gotta get some this month from Sam's Club. Good shit, turkey bacon. And allegedly good for you. I don't happen to know, nor do I happen to care, but it's a thing. Do love me some turkey bacon. Good shit. Good shit. Anyway, of course I also love pig bacon. I'm not sure how you get some of the turkey products like turkey bacon and whatever, but I like it. Funny thing about turkey bacon, I describe turkey bacon to a friend of mine as the opposite of pancakes. Which I refer to as witchcraft, by the way. Pancakes are witchcraft. And this story came about by me telling him, okay, you know how a white hole is supposedly the opposite of a black hole, where all the matter goes into a black hole and shoots out of a white hole? Like, actually, I hadn't heard that, but go on. I'm like, turkey bacon is the white hole to Pancake's black hole. He's like, okay. Because pancakes are fucking witchcraft. It is a fact. You can pour an entire thing of syrup into a pancake and let it sit for a couple minutes, and that syrup will soak up so that not a trace of it on the plate, and take a bite out of that pancake and just taste pancake with no fucking syrup. That is witchcraft. It just is. That is black magic on your plate. And I know it's not just me, because as I was saying this, he started laughing. And it's that recognition laugh, like, oh, I know where this is going, I've had that happen. Turkey bacon. And here's the thing, when I eat turkey, and maybe it's just badly prepared, but a lot of times when I eat turkey, as in carved off the bird turkey, it's pretty dry. Like, you have to salt it to get some flavor into it, or, like, put a damp paper towel over it when you're microwaving it, kind of thing. It's only in rare occasions where I get a moist turkey. Not that they don't exist, but it's not... They don't come standard, you know what I'm saying? But turkey bacon and turkey burgers are the fucking wettest thing on the go. Like, when you make turkey bacon, it's just soggy. Not in a bad way. It's just that it glistens. Which, okay, that's fine. Sometimes food is moist. A lot of times bacon can be glisteny, unless you let it dry for a while, you know? Well, anyway, my friend John, my roommate John, who was in the Lego Jurassic World video, I once asked him if he can make the turkey bacon for me, and he fucked it up. He burnt it. Burnt it now. Like, it's charred and shit. It's burnt. Right? And it's still fucking moist. Those two things don't go together. It's wetly dehydrated. But, yeah. Fucking burnt the turkey bacon, still moist. Oh man, I am so hungry right now. Good news is I actually managed to sacrifice to what's the word? To feed my donut craving this morning. Because I went out and nothing's open, and I couldn't get the roommates to agree to take me shopping today, so I kind of had to get shit I could subsist on until we actually go to the store. And honestly, there's a Publix near the gaming store today, so I might pick up some bacon or something for me to eat. Or some sandwich shit, that kind of thing. Because it's just a bus ride for me to get home. You know? I hop on the bus with my bag of groceries, go home. Did I feed the critters? I did. But, anyway... Lost where I was. Give me a second. Oh yeah, I bought these little donut packs. You know, like the bags of donuts. Got a cinnamon one and a powdered one. I would have gotten chocolate, but I have no milk, and I'm not about to buy it from Wawa. You know, you don't eat chocolate donuts without milk. It's just bleh. But anyway, got my donuts, and I saw a case, and I'm like, ooh, a Boston cream and a frosted donut with pink icing that's basically like a breast cancer awareness ribbon that I ate the shit out of. Yum yum. But yeah, I get donut cravings because I don't get them often. Now my real craving is for jelly donuts, but those are a bitch to find. The closest I've come to feeding my jelly donut fix is getting Krispy Kreme jelly donuts which have glaze on them, and they're edible, but not quite the way I'm thinking of. You know, they're just not... When you think jelly donut, you don't think, oh, I want a glazed donut with fucking jam in it. No, I want a fucking donut covered in powdered sugar with jam in it. And that's not what I got. but it's okay. Alright, there's like 3 places Cliff could be. I'm hoping he's here. Because I'm here. And that'll simplify my day. Happy birthday, buddy. Have some breakfast. I know, that's why it's wrapped with a little pink bow and everything. I like Cliff, he's a cool guy. And he looks a little bit like Kid Gohan. So that's cool too. Tomorrow's the Chicken Festival, and then there are no events remaining for this week. But yeah, it just sucks because generally Dunkin' Donuts, at least around here, is the only place to get jelly donuts, and their prices have shot so far up to the point where it's almost $1 a donut in a dozen. And I don't have $12 to burn on fucking pastries. Buffet? Sure. You want to take me to the KFC buffet? I'll burn fucking $10 there, because that's all the chicken I can cram into my food hole, you know? Want to take me to Golden Corral? Sure. I don't eat a lot of the food there, but I will stuff myself with the food I do eat, you know? And it's one thing to pay a buffet, but to pay $12, $1 a fucking donut, you know? It used to be, when I was a kid, it used to be for like $6.41, I think. It was like $6.41 for a dozen donuts. I'd pay that. You know, if I had a coupon, buy one, get one free, pay $12 and get 2 dozen donuts out of that, sure, I'd do that too. Or $10, whatever. But $10 a dozen? No. Especially out of cash? No. If I'm going to pay money like that, I will go to Walmart and buy the Krispy Kreme donuts, like the half dozen jelly Krispy Kremes, because I can get that on food stamps and not waste my actual money. Need to decide what hen's going with me tomorrow. Probably, you know what? I'm going to take Ellie. My wife's going to win me some money. It's kind of funny to me now that that I bothered to waste money. Or not waste money, but try so hard to conserve money. That was bad, by the way. Like, oh, I gotta get the free chicken, because nowadays, if I were to start, I just buy all 10 chickens right off the bat. I mean, I know why I did it the way I did, but still. So one of the things I like about the GBA remake is the fact that you could just hand feed every animal in the game. And not only does it make sure they eat, it also makes their hearts go up, you know? So that's like 4 ways you can do stuff. Plus I think it also helps you make the chickens happy faster. Because chickens are easy, man. Chickens don't care. Chickens are fresh out of fuck state. You know, in hindsight, one of the other reasons that Karen's kind of a pain in the ass to give wine to is the fact that compared to everything else, wine has a narrow window of like 3 hours that it's available for sale. So it's not like I can just pop there any hour of the day. It has to be one of the first things you do that morning, you know? And that's kind of a pain in the ass. It's kind of funny that I'm growing pumpkins right now, because that's actually what I'm doing in my current Stardew Valley playthrough. Or no, that's fall. Never mind. Ignore me. I am utterly incorrect in my assertion. Tell you one thing, I'm really looking forward to when Stardew Valley has its multiplayer function, and I'm kind of hoping I have a better computer by then, because I would love to do recordings of me playing Stardew Valley with Sandy. Because I'll totally play Stardew Valley with her. Or maybe Eisen, you know, maybe I can get him to do that for his This Week in Eisen thing. Kind of like how I'm doing that. And just, because he can record and do Skype at the same time, just tell him, hey, get Stardew Valley, fire it up, and you and I will start a farm together, you know? However that's gonna work. And I will just have a multiplayer Stardew Valley file, or whatever it is. And the two of us will just hang out and farm every week. And it'll be awesome. Because it is driving me nuts, because I grew up with lots of friends in my neighborhood, and lots of two-player consoles. I don't think I ever had a console... No, I did, but I don't think I ever had a console until I reached high school that had just one controller. I always had the two-player options. I think even when I got my PlayStation, I got the two-player version. It just kind of confused me that someone would only have a Nintendo with one controller. I'm like, it comes with two, not mine. Why didn't you buy the two? It's just me. I'm like, don't you care about your friends? I shouldn't have to bring my controller over to play with you. But yeah, my Sega had one controller. I'm pretty sure I had two PlayStation controllers despite having just single-player games for like a year or more, you know? But yeah, just the idea of that. I grew up with that, and now I have all these games, some of which are two-player, but no one to play with, because no one else has the games. That's not a thing I grew up with. It's like, oh, I've got Mortal Kombat. Bring over your Super Nintendo and your copy of Mortal Kombat, and we'll play. No, it's, hey, I'm renting Mortal Kombat. Come over and play it with me. Because let's be honest, I didn't own many games as a kid. Nintendo games, sure, but those you can get at the flea market. I think if I owned a dozen Super Nintendo games, I'd be shocked. Let's see, I own Mario World, Mario Paint, Link to the Past. You know, I think that might have been it. I'm sure I owned at least 6 games, but damned if I can remember what they are now. Mario World, Mario Paint, Link to the Past. Come on, I wasn't that poor. I know I read a lot of games, but Jesus Christ, I had to have owned something else. You know? I can't think of any. Huh. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just own 3 games. But yeah, it's just weird to me to do something like that. To just have all these games and not be able to play. Like, I have Baldur's Gate. I would love for Sammy and even Adam to play Baldur's Gate with me. But they don't have it right now. And Jay doesn't like it that much. Skinner doesn't have internet to play with me, despite having those and Icewind Dale. I mean, it's just bleh. Just totally bleh. It just drives me nuts, because I have these games, and I have the ability to play them with people, but I have no people to play them with. I mean, I suppose I could go on a thing for Baldur's Gate Enhanced and, like, a message board or something like, hey, I'm free to play! Because I am. But you get such weird groups like that, and generally you need a voice server and shit, and I just don't want to download shit right now. Okay, let's get Ellie. Let's find out which of these 10 identical hens is the one I want. Ugh. How do you even tell? Do they have little collars, little name clamps on their feet? I think that is how you mark a chicken, is you put a bracelet on them. Mary, you are the wrong hen. Let's grab these hens first. Ellie! Second hen. Perfect. I love how when he runs, he holds it completely over his head, but when he walks, it's right out in front of him. Just right now, do this for me. Grab a turnip and run with it over your head and see how silly you look. Just grab a turnip. Just go to the kitchen, grab a vegetable, and run around the house with it over your head. And see if you don't look like a colossal nerd. Funny thing is, I'm actually at this level of wealth in Stardew Valley right now because I just planted a field full of goddamn blueberries. Hi Kai, this is my hen. I named her after my wife. Needless to say, this is not her favorite hen. Oh, that's right, there are no girls at this festival. This is a fucking guys-only game. Damn, I'm gonna enter my wife. Here's my chicken waifu. Hashtag chicken waifu. Oh my god, this game makes me stupid. Flowler? That's what happens when Fowler fucks a flower, I guess. Lynette. Foster. Princess, that's a cute name. The Hen. I think that's my favorite. Conan versus the Hen. It's X button, right? Yes. Now, obviously, you can actually win this with a 0-heart hen, as long as it's fully grown. But you tend to be better off when they have more hearts. The more hearts they have, the less they fuck around. Obviously. I does got all that. Gundam fight all set? Ready? Go! Plus, I think they stay in the air longer. Which makes them harder to startle. Ellie! Ellie beat Berthy. Ooh, no, I don't get to... Conan beat the hen, that makes me sad. Okay, time to beat Conan. I do not. I didn't actually need the instructions last time, I just needed to remember that it was the X button. You did! I got your ass! Final hen! Foster. Australian for hen. I do not. I would think that if I made it to the finals that I'm good on the instructions. No, my hand! My goddamn hand! Nope, nope, no, no, no! Fuck. God damn it, Ellie. You let me down. Fucking Foster. It doesn't matter. It's not like I use the damn things. But that irks me. I almost never lose that. And yet, here I am, on camera, with my shame for the entire world to see. I should leave you here, but then Ellie will kill me because I left her at the town square. You see this, wife? This hen is you. She failed me today. This is a disappointment to me. Knew I should have taken a different hen. Oh well, it's my own fault. I did a stupid thing. I did a bad. If I'd been paying attention, I'd have waited until that chicken was in the air and then clucked, but nope, I got cocky. Like I said, it doesn't really matter. At this point in the game, I have all the money I'm gonna get. All the money I need, rather. I'm gonna get more money, obviously, just by fucking attrition, if nothing else. financial attrition. Which, that's not how attrition works, but it's the first word that popped in my head. That's a fun word, attrition. I learned that game from a Star Wars, or that term from a Star Wars card game. Because attrition was a thing. Which, ironically, we rarely used attrition in those games. But I'm like, oh, this character's immune to attrition. This character's immune to attrition less than 4. How does that work? What is attrition? And I always wondered why it was that we could have these huge fights, but nobody died. Well, it turns out attrition was a thing. Like, oh, I drew 4 destiny. That means in addition to the difference in our power, which is like 6, because I've got a 10 and you've got a 4, and I had a 6 power and drew attrition 4, or drew destiny 4, and you had 4 power, so the difference is 6, so you take 6 force, and you lose 4 force of character due to attrition. You know. Fun game, by the way, the Star Wars card game, but it's a pain in the ass to play because it takes up so much space. I mean, even when you're playing it online, you need to maximize the size of the table just to fit all your cards, because I've done that before. And it is a lot of fun. And I actually own a lot of good cards for it. And this pisses me off. I got my friend the Dark Side cards. And I told him this is, okay, if you decide you don't want to play, give these back to me. So that I can give them to someone who will play with me. And his response was to sell them to his brother without telling me. And his brother didn't know how to play, didn't keep track of them. Which his brother's a friend of mine too, but it pisses me off. You know? Because I got him some good shit, like, oh, you're gonna need the Death Star. You know? Because that, back in the day, that was a big deal, having the Death Star. Like, I always fought against the Death Star. Because the Death Star, it's mobile, you know, it's got its own things that produce no force for the opponent. So it's purely for you. Because basically, each location generates force. Generally for both players. Like, oh, I've got the Tatooine Cantina or something. It generates 2 light side force for me and 1 dark side force for you. Well, all the Death Star locations except for 2 of them, or no, 1 of them, only generate dark side force. So I can't deploy there, and it's a pain in the ass to get to. But I got him the Death Star. I got him Darth Vader with lightsaber attached, so basically, it's the same as normal Darth Vader, except you don't have to waste time equipping a lightsaber on him. He just has it. So he's got his weapon, he can target characters, he generates an extra force, he's just lethal in combat, etc. Got him all this cool shit. And he fucking stops playing and doesn't give me back the cards that I bought for him. Because it's not like he gave me the money and I got it on the YouTube account. I got a whole bunch of cards and gave him all the dark side shit. It just irks me. It kind of amuses me that some of the Dagobah cards still go for so much. Like, I tried to get Yoda. I don't think I got Dagobah Yoda. I think it was too much, but I got Phantom Menace Yoda, which is effectively the same thing. You know, for all intents and purposes, he's the same card. Because he's a Jedi Master, so he generates force for you. He can only deploy where he's supposed to, like, Dagobah Yoda can only go to Dagobah. Yoda can only go to the Jedi Council Chamber, neither can be moved from those places. But I have a card called Encampment that basically lets me put him wherever the fuck I please. And the only reason I know that is because I used to play a guy, same guy with the Death Star, by the way. When he played Lightside, he'd play Yoda, and he had the Encampment card. And he would play Yoda despite having no Dagobah locations. Now, the Star Wars card game was cool because it never banned anything. If a card turned out to be broken, then the next set would just have a card to unbreak the broken card. It's like, yeah, you know that combo you like? Yeah, here's the card that says, fuck your combo. The problem is, because it kept coming out with new mechanics, it had so many rules. Like, I could lay down and think, oh, Dejarik rules are in a play. Oh, nighttime conditions. Oh, bounty hunter rules. Asteroid rules are in effect, you know. And it's just a nightmare to keep track of it all. Of course, to be fair, it sounds like a lot, and then I realized that HeroClix has the same thing. Oh, colossal rules, giant rules, tiny rules, duo rules, double-sided figure rules, transporter rules, team-based rules, vehicle rules, battlefield conditions, feats, event dials, resource dials. You know, it's all over the place. And I know pretty much all of those rules from memory, so it's not too unthinkable. I'm so excited to play Clix today. We're going to have our last Civil War event. A lot of people probably buying Spider-Man boosters because they can. I'm buying some Civil War. Because like I keep telling the judge, I'm like, dude, you can get Spider-Man a lot easier than Civil War. And to tomorrow. It ruined our summer vacation. It was a bad guy. It ruined our summer vacation. So wait, does that mean... I know this is over, but does that mean the Fairy and Me is over too? Because that's sad if that's the case. Unless the last story is the Fairy story, which I'm totally cool with. I don't think I've ever played far enough to see this, but for some reason I can't help but think I have seen this much of the Fairy and Me. But I know I've never beaten this game. You know, beaten as in gotten to year 3, or year 4 spring, rather. It's never been a thing to my knowledge. Because you'd think I'd remember something like that. But yeah, apparently... And I don't know if this is discussed in the ending of the game, because I've never come across it, but apparently, whatever girl you marry is the girl you played with as a child. And honestly, that, to me, if I had to pick one of these 5 girls to canonically be the girl you played with, even if you don't marry her, I would pick Ellie, because she seems like that kind of girl. You know? I mean, Anne's a possibility, but she doesn't strike me as Karen. She sure as hell doesn't strike me as Mary. And she doesn't strike me as Papuri, so I would say Ellie or Anne. Of course, at that point, Anne's mother was still alive, so she probably wasn't the tomboy she is now. Yeah, I've got the TV on in the background, just muted. Everyone's talking about the vice presidential debate. I'm not particularly looking forward to it, because I've seen Mike Pence talk. I'm not impressed with the man at all, you know? I wish that the Republican Party would stop being the extremist party, because it is. Because I'm an independent. I want there to be 2 viable parties. I want... if I had to, I want the Obama-McCain election again. You know, pre-Palin, pre-Vice President. Back when it was just Obama and McCain, and neither one of them had picked their Vice President yet, because when it was just them, before Sarah Palin came on the scene, I was on the fence. I was looking at me and, you know, I really like a lot of Obama's things, but I also like McCain's things, and I disagree with both of them on a lot of things. But once McCain picked Palin, I'm like, oh, I cannot run the risk that that woman, with her everything, has even a slight say in political matters of the country. You know? I mean, hell, I just wish that there really were 2 parties and there was a choice. Because it's not 2 parties and there's a choice. It's, hey, there's 2 groups and you're assigned to one of them. Because one of them is so drastically opposed to everything you hold dear. We don't have a 2-party system. We have 2 one-party systems. As silly as that sounds. I mean, it's just... They're so vastly different in their policies. It's like, oh, we're pro kitten clubbing. We like to club kittens. Well, we think kittens are adorable and should be cuddled. No! You are either one of those things, or you are not. It should be more like, oh, we're dog people. Well, we're cat people. Okay? There are plenty of people who are dog people and who are cat people. But there's also people who don't care. And people who are both, and people who are one but open to the other. I am unabashedly a cat person. It is a fact. I am a cat person. As evidenced by the fact that I have more cats than dogs, even if most of those cats didn't exactly come on purpose. But I still have my dog. And I've owned dogs before Maya. I've had 5 dogs. 2 dogs, and then they had puppies, you know? But I am a cat person, first and foremost. That being said, if my election policies were a cat person and a dog person, as long as the dog person was an anti-cat and the cat person was an anti-dog, I could see myself voting for the dog person. You know, like, oh, well, I, as the dog person, we're gonna shut down every puppy mill in the country. Ooh, that's a good policy. I'm a cat person, and we're gonna vote for, you know, free scratching posts or something. Oh, I really like scratching posts, but puppy mills are important to stop, you know, that kind of thing. I could see myself voting for the pro-dog person platform. However, even if I wasn't as poor as I am, and I am poor, I cannot fucking vote for the, yeah, we're gonna get rid of Social Security crowd. Because you know what? Because of the fact that I was such a late baby in my mother's life, I have a substantial amount of relatives that are 60 plus. Like my aunt's turning 70 this year. I think my mom's like 71 or 72. No, their brother is in his late 60s, and while I don't care about him, it's worth considering. You know, it's worth noting. My sister, who I could give 2 shits about, is on disability because of her heart problems. I'm on disability. You know? And there are so many seniors, you know, by the definition. I don't consider them seniors just because I've grown up with them. But there are so many seniors in my family who need that shit to fucking live. And I cannot see myself taking that for them or voting for someone who would take that for them. From them. Likewise, Medicare. I'm on Medicare. Granted, I don't use my Medicare. The only thing I use my Medicare for is a discounted bus pass. You know, my insurance is literally wasted. But I believe that everyone should have that. So I'm not going to vote for the guy who's going to take that shit away. I understand economics to the point where I understand that taxes are the income of the country. Everything the country pays for is paid for by taxes. Therefore, the people who can pay taxes should. If I made the money that would require me to pay taxes, I would pay taxes without trying to find fucking loopholes for it. But billionaires get away paying nothing or next to nothing, and they're the ones who could just wipe out shit. Likewise, if we tax the churches, we probably wouldn't have to tax the billionaires. But they're not paying their fair share, and they're insisting on military spending, which is what all the fucking money is going to. So when you have a party that's like, oh, we're gonna cut taxes. No! We're gonna cut the minimum wage. No! This is, you can't run up the bill and not fucking pay people. We're gonna negotiate on not paying the debts. No! Don't fucking do that. The debt ceiling isn't, oh, we're gonna borrow more money. No, the debt ceiling is we're gonna pay the shit we've already bought. Don't do that. And that's the problem, is the parties are consisting of people who in a lot of cases are fooled by rhetoric. You know? They're convinced to vote strongly against their interests because the other party is better at wordplay. Or you genuinely believe in that because that's your side of the argument. Because you are rich, you want no taxes. Although that's not fair, because there are plenty of people who say, hey, raise my taxes, I can afford it. You know? And there are plenty of poor people who want their taxes cut. But then again, the left isn't necessarily much better. They The problem is there are a lot of SJWs who... One of the things you need to understand about politics is a lot of them don't necessarily do their homework. Like, every bill that goes to Congress is not necessarily read. Sometimes people will hear the gist of something and be like, oh, that sounds good, let's do that. And a lot of the SJWs will spread false things. Like, I can't believe that segregation is starting to become a thing again. You know, that was something that was solved decades before I was born. You know, white people came together with black people to stop making black people have their own places. Like, oh, you gotta get into the colored fountain, darky. No. Drink out of the same water fountain I am. Use the same bathroom I am. Probably not right after me, but anyway. And now you've got black students trying to resegregate. No! I'm sorry, but if you were to hook up a fucking cable to Martin Luther King, you could power the country over the speed at which he's spinning in his fucking grave. Over that. It's just wrong. I've been getting more political, but it's that season. You know? I really wish there were truly two parties that were relatively equal. I'm not saying they believe in the same things, but I mean they have equal validity, and it's not. Because if you are a Republican, you are not, in general, on board with the Democrats and cannot be. And if you are a Democrat, you are generally not on board with Republicans and cannot be. Because the two sides, they're on opposite sides of the world. You know? It's not, oh, they're in Colorado and you're in Florida. It's no, they're in Alaska and you're in Australia. You know, you're not in the same hemispheres. You're not in the same country. You're on just other sides of the fucking planet. Alright, that's it for this. And I will see you guys next week. And I am so glad that I don't have to rush and do this tonight. Which is good, because I thought I had a lot more time than I had. I mean, I've still got like 2 hours, but damn. I just looked at the clock. It's like 1:30 p.m. That is. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody.